want to attach it as a culture, as the food habit, wherever we are, whichever the geography we are in and all, and how we are consuming the food. So, so today's we have a wonderful panelist. I don't want to take their slot, but yes, we like to welcome you. And please allow me some time. I want to make a presentation. Yeah, hope my screen is visible to all.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So welcome all. As most of you know, my name is Vimal Kumar. I'm a co-founder of Finovista. I'm in-country lead for MECS program in India. MECS program, we are going to talk about what this program is. As a MECS program, this is the FCDA UK funded program, 8-year program. We are transitioning from biomass to clean cooking, and Finovista, which is in-country partner for MECS program in India. So why it is important and why we talk about that modern energy cooking, the electric cooking is the future of clean cooking. So as the MEX research globally shows, the significant process has been made in access to electric cooking over last decade. So if we talk about that across the county, across the state, across the country, the government is spending a lot of money to providing the electricity connection. The situation is improving continuously. There has been significant investment in the electricity access. The government has made and already committed to make. So it is going to improve and it is going to be the regular feature. And there is the urgent need of decarbonization. Now we are talking about decarbonization. We are seeing that how the climate change is impacting. So, of course, the clean cooking has the multiple challenges, right from the gender, right from the environment, right from the non-convenience, etc. So, clubbing together, whether the decarbonization is the one of the interesting area to look up, and why this we are talking today, and what is this future. So, there is a significant development happened in the energy efficiency side. Now the effect, the cost of cooking is actually reducing through the modern energy devices. And the when we talk about that small businesses food, even in the institutional cooking level, the Mr. Anil Desai will going to talk more on the institutional side also. And then actually the lot of time we always say that food may not taste good and all, but most of the things are actually acceptable when we talk about overall opportunity and challenges in the electric cooking. So most of the people are now accepting those, and it's open to other research and approaches that include other fuel also. And currently, in the MEX program, we always say that we are actually moving away from biomass and firewood to clean cooking. And why it is important? Actually, the real cost of biomass cooking is a very huge. It has the health implication. It has the premature death. Of course, the pollution. Of course, the child health. There is a maternal health is issue. The gender aspects are there. And as a MEX program in India, we have achieved a lot. How we are actually doing this. So we have a very good mechanism called stakeholder engagement. So we identify the regular stakeholders, and we are actually working in a multiple aspects. So we are positioning India as the device hub, global hub for device manufacturing. And today, the most of the people are here in the manufacturing side. So they will be going to talk about that, how we are supporting them, how we are running the various support system and to enable the manufacturers. So these manufacturers can actually solve the clean cooking challenges. Then another interesting that we are actually developing the ecosystem. So we believe that once the ecosystem will be developed, the market forces will going to take it on. And in India, especially in the last 1 month, the market forces has actually jumped in the sector. I'm happy to say that the moment the Honorable Prime Minister of India has launched the Saurya Nutan and the ESL coming into that, the Minister of New and Renewable Energy coming into that, Bureau of Energy Efficiency is taking the lead, the Minister of Power is taking the lead, lot of state government is taking the lead. So here actually we are talking on the right time. In the last 1 month, it is a sea change we see in towards the modern energy cooking. And it is an opportunity for all of you as a manufacturer and the stakeholder. We keep invite that you try to identify the opportunity wherever you can able to contribute. The several agencies are also working on that. So our role is to provide the platform. Our role is to that being a research program, we have actually handed over now to the market forces, and market forces are started picking up. So this is the good success as a MECS program. Of course, the collaboration is very important. So we are regularly providing the collaboration, and the talk series the right testimony for us that we had concluded the 12 module of talk series 1. Now we are in talk series 2, where today is the 4th session. So so we are actually doing this session regularly. This is the very interactive platform. So we request all of you participants to interact with each other, develop your relationship. We have a chat box which is easily available, and to whomsoever you want to connect, please connect. And I also request my team to share the link which we have created a WhatsApp group. So anybody who want to join the group, you are welcome. In this group, we have a good regular discussions in this. And then we are doing a lot of other activities. The forum was the one of the modern energy cooking forum, the first time we did in India, and we got a very good presence. Yes, we are providing a lot of policy supports to promote the electric cooking. So Go Electric is the campaign launched by Government of India. We have contributed in the national electricity policy, though not has been accepted. We have given our input to adding the electric cooking in the budget. But yeah, so this is the contribution you are making. And we are talking about mega scale commercial deployment project for which we are working with the EESL and other agencies to see in the masses how actually we can work and how electric cooking can be picked up. Then on the stakeholder management, we are working with the policymaker, researchers, startups, SME chambers and all to enable that. Now I'm happy to share that there is a lot of interest with India is coming from our African colleagues. Most of the people are also here. So they are also looking at how India and Africa can work together. And then we have developed the India eCooking actually to support with the evidence that the electric cooking is possible and it's cheap also in some of the cases, and it's convenient. I have already spoke about this. I don't want to spend time, but yes, I like to highlight and congratulate the Global Leap Award. 1 out of 2 awardee is from India. So this is the opportunity which we are creating. And then we have conducted the Modern Energy Cooking Forum, which was in September last year. But this year we are also planning to launch the Modern Energy Cooking Forum, 2nd edition. That will be in India, and we are also thinking to launch the Clean Cooking Award in the next edition. So this will give a more visibility, acceptance, incentivizing, and all. We are looking at the multiple aspects how we can actually support as a sector. The talk series is the which we are here. So we all know the 15 module has been already completed under the phase 1 and phase 2. We have 850 plus global registrations. And in a totality, we have over 600 plus people have been attended this sessions. Here, since we are talking about maximum cookability and how we actually link with the culture, today's session is purely focused on the Indian cooking. And in Indian cooking, when we map the available electric appliances, of course, when we see the data, the most of the devices are now available. However, some of the devices are right fit in the market. Some of the devices require some training and all. Like the roti maker is the device which is available, which is the chapati or roti maker or flatbread, whatever you can say in your local language. So this is also available, but the manufacturers also believe that the demonstration is required for the roti maker. The Of late we are started seeing that air fryer has picked up really well in last 6 to 1 year. Over 20 brands with the different sizes ranging from the 2 to 10 liters are available, and this devices is speaking like anything. It claims that 85-90% of the cooking fuel means the edible cooking fuel you can actually save. So India has a lot of tendency to eat the deep fried item and all. So this is another interesting device. The rice cooker is the oldest device available in India in the terms of electric cooking, which is a very popular. Southern India is actually there. Then the multi cooker is the another interesting device, which is in between the rice cooker and the electric pressure cooker. And then we have the electric pressure cooker, which is picked up really well. A lot of people are now actually looking. The most of the almost 85% of the Indian cooking can be done in India, which we have provided in the e-cookbook. And we have a eminent panelist who is going to talk about and induction cooking, which we all knows is a very versatile device. It is over 55 brands are operating in India. It is ranging from 800 watt to 2400 watts in the retail for the retail customer, ranging from the 1100 INR to 4000 INR. And another interesting aspect which we did when we did so electric cooking requires the immersion rod also. So when we are asking people to switch from the traditional fuel to the modern energy cooking fuel, of course, the lot of water heating is also done through the gas or whatever the traditional. So we have to also look into those. This can be that, and then especially for the induction, we have to provide some additional utensils to fit into those parameters. So I will not take too much time because that we have a wonderful panelist and I will be moderating. So today's session will be basically talking about the kind of Indian cuisine we have, the culture we have, how we can actually link and all. With this, I also want to make one important announcement. As we know, the talk series, we are actually doing this talk series on every Thursday, third week of every Thursday, every month. So this is the hour frequency of the talk series. We are trying to automate as much as we can. So 20th of April is the next talk series, and we will be focusing on the integrated DC based cooking. So which is EESL is actually launched the EOI. They are looking for 100,000 of uh, independent DC based devices. So we'll be focusing our next talk series on that. With this, I want to bring back to you on the fourth talk series. And with this, I end up my presentation and invite my panelist as Sheetal is not feeling well, so I have to do the multiple job. Nick is not available. So can I request my panelist to switch on the camera and mic? Yeah. And I will be introducing my panelist first. Yeah, so sorry for the delay. Just a minute. Yeah. So with this, I like to introduce Miss Vishakha Chandere. She is the founder of Urja Box. Then we like to introduce Mr. Anil Desai, proprietor of Flame on Nil Technology. Mr. Yash Parmar, Mr. Yash Parmar Ufla. And then we have a doctor, Mr. Girja Shankar. He is in a meeting. We are expecting him to join toward the end of the session. So I request my panelists to please introduce yourself and like to share your experience and your expertise in this topic.
Yeah, let Vishakha start. Is Vishakha
All right.
available?
Yes. Can you hear me?
We can
Great.
hear you. We
All
can't
right.
see you. Yeah, now we can see you. Very good. Ladies first. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you. Um, yeah, because it is a cooking thing, right?
Yeah.
So, so very good evening to all of you, and thank you, Vimal and Finovista team, for including me in this talk series. It's always nice to hear more viewpoints and interact more on this topic. So it's really nice to be here. About myself, I am working in the clean cooking sector, as in we are more of an advocacy kind of a firm where we are promoting mainly cooking with renewable energy, with a vision that everyone should be able to cook at least one meal using renewable energy. That with that we will be able to achieve a lot of cost saving for ourselves and for the country as well. And at the same time, we will be able to address most of the challenges using renewable energy. With that as in our mission statement, we have also participated with women and MECS in the field electric cooking field trial, and we have got very good insights on what is really possible on ground and what are the challenges ahead. Uh, with a lot of field visits and on field trials, I think we have a good data or a good understanding of where we are standing in terms of electric cooking right now. Again, thank you, Vimal, for giving us that opportunity of field trial, because it was really a good learning experience for us as well. So I think that's it from my side. So maybe Yash can continue.
And yes, I'm extremely sorry. I have taken the space of Mr. Sinha, so I request Mr. Sinha to take the session from here with your panelist. Sorry for the confusion.
Go ahead.
I thought it's a good opportunity. I have to take all the places. So Shital is not there. Sorry for that. Mr. Sinha, you're on mute. Still on mute.
Yeah,
Sorry.
now
Yeah.
I should be audible. I hope so.
You are.
So thank you, Vimal. Not at all you feel sorry about, because I was feeling more comfortable that you have taken over the job. So, but anyway, it is the job to be done. And welcome all the panelists. Special welcome to all of them and other participant as well. And Vishakha ji, I was reading somewhere, I have a small question to you. I was reading somewhere one of your statement made about 3 years back about that you are not convinced about e-cooking. Now, how things have changed during the last 3 years, that is what my interest is, not in your original statement, but how things have changed in 3 years. That I would like to understand from you, because that will give, I mean, also reflection of the work done, including that by Finovista and MECS over the years. So I can take pride into that as well. So can you respond to my, I mean, not so comfortable question, but anyway.
No, it is in fact the most important question that I want to talk about. To be very honest, that question, that comment was linked to a particular article which said that rural India is simmering on electric cooking, which was a very, very
True.
inconvenient way of putting things forward, because even
Okay.
now we know that rural India is not simmering on electric cooking. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
so that is one thing, and it was mainly pertaining to rural India. Even now, my statement stands true that electric cooking is more practically possible in semi-urban and urban areas where there are more early adopters for it. People are open-minded. In rural areas, it is not very easily adopted, possible to adopt even now. So there is a lot of work that actually needs to happen in rural areas. Even when we did the electric field trial, it was done in a semi-urban and urban area. So and we have visited, even with Simon and team, we have visited some of the rural parts where we have seen that there is stacking, fuel stacking, wherein a household has all sorts of cooking. They have an inefficient electric coil. They have a chula, they have LPG, they have everything. So, it is a very, it will be a very wrong statement to say that just because they have electric cookers or coils available in their house, that means that they are cooking on electricity all the time. So my statement was regarding that, that
Okay.
whole title of that article was not very appropriate. So
That seems to be the job of the journalist, not to project the real thing
yeah,
sometimes.
yeah, exactly. And so that's why,
Yeah.
it has been quoted that I am the only person who was speaking against electric cooking, but and I am the only person, woman here in the panel who cooks every day. So, so I can tell more confidently, what the reality is.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
electric cooking is
Thank you very
promising,
much.
but yeah, yeah.
Thank you for clarifying and for my better understanding. And since your company is not just a manufacturer, innovator of electric cooking and other bioenergy based devices, I understand you are also engaged in capacity building of in this field.
Yes,
So that makes your job even
correct.
more
Yeah, that's
important.
right. Yes.
Yeah. So anything else you would like to
Thank you so
say
much.
on this issue, or shall we move? I mean,
Yeah, just one thing. With electric cooking, one experience that we have had is the number of devices that are available there. Like as women very rightly quoted, we have roti makers, we have the robo which makes rotis. Uh, I forgot the name of it, but yeah, that there is one robo which you can, at home you can rotimatic, which
yeah,
makes
that's
rotis.
right.
And then
Yeah.
we have the induction cooktops, we have electric pressure cookers. The number of devices are, there are too many devices. Vis-a-vis, if we try to compare with LPG, what happens is only one single stove, and then we have number of cooking uh, vessels, different types of vessels that are available. So what happens is, when we try to tell people that you have to, try cooking, they say that there are too many devices. So cooking 100% on electricity will be a challenge going forward. Considering which devices to select, or just because there's no single device to use. And another thing is, I believe that unless we couple electric devices to solar energy, we cannot really call it 100% clean cooking yet. Because even if 10% of our population starts using electric city for cooking altogether, we will be still having considerable number of emission coming out of electric cooking as well. So that is another thing which we really have to work on, that if it has to be electric cooking, we should find a way that it has to be coupled to some sort of a solar device. So and the government is already thinking on that line, so that is good. Yeah, that is it from me.
Oh, thank you so much, Visakha ji, for clarifying and giving details of the various types of devices and how far we have been able to penetrate the market. I mean, and what are the behavioral issue challenges also in the line. And as you rightly said, that one single equipment cannot, in electric cooking, cannot do or perform all the task of cooking. So we need, number of devices at the moment. But at the same time, it gives opportunity to innovators and designers to
Yeah,
innovate better, electric cooking devices which can do multiple tasks at a time, and you don't require gas and everything. I mean, air fryer also, microwave oven, everything. So in that context, our next speaker would be the right person to talk to, and Mr. Anil Desai. No introduction required, because he is one of the pioneer in this field. And basically we would like to talk about the design and innovation requirement to make it more suitable to the Indian kitchen. that is what I mean, of course, he can, to his liking, he can cover all the other issues, but we would be interested in knowing that particular aspect. So over to Mr. Desai. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Mr. Sinha. Thank you, Vimal. In fact, it will be very difficult for you people to stop me. That is my issue. I will try to be as short and sweet as possible and confine myself with the basic subject, that is vessel one, the design aspect two. So there are two very important aspects. I have done domestic inductions long back, and not for 2 or 3 months, but for 3 years, when people did not even know, or hardly 1 or 2% of the people knew induction as a word. Nobody knew. So we used to go to each house, cook dal, roti, sabji, one sweet, and do frying also. So I have a vast experience of what are the resistances faced and where. We try to change the vessels according to the requirement at that time, and then switched over to commercial sector for a very simple reason कि जो acceptance है even at that time in the urban areas is between 25 and 35 years, and it has to be person to person like Eureka Forbes. आपको डेमो किए बिना इंडक्शन नहीं बेच सकते हैं. क्यों? क्योंकि उसके अंदर जो उसका स्ट्रेंथ है, इट्स अ यूरोपियन टेक्नोलॉजी, तो उसका जो स्ट्रेंथ है वो इंडियन कुकिंग के लिए वीकनेस है. स्ट्रेंथ क्या है? One,
Anilji, extremely sorry, but since the audience is mostly from the across the world, so request to
Hindi? English? Okay.
English. So
Okay.
sorry.
See, the strength is that every manual will have 12 centimeter diameter vessel has is so fast that if you keep an empty vessel and don't add any content, within 30 seconds the vessel will melt. So when the entire technology was being evolved, this is the European technology, so they came up with the solution that let there be a sensor that below 12.5 centimeter of vessel should not work, so that our ring, a kada or a mangal sutra, even if it touches or just is nearer to it, because the magnetic flux is not just near the glass, it is above up to 10 mm. Nothing should be injured. Nobody should be injured. So now this limitation of 12.5 centimeter is one of the issue because of which the Western India, which thrives on tadka performance in every product that they cook, like vegetables, dal, सब में तड़का लगता है. Everywhere you need a tadka. So this is one constraint. The second constraint is overheating sensor. You know, there is a fan below which pumps fresh air to the electronics. Now, if there is a lot of accumulation of heat inside, the induction will stop by itself. It will go into the off mode. What the woman will feel, the induction has gone out of order. Now, how does it happen? If you cook with water, it hardly happens. But if you are going to roast a roti, then the vessel is empty, you put a roti, and you need to control the heat when you are going to puff the roti, because the puffing is at a very high temperature. And just a small remark, that if when she is cooking the roti, there is a doorbell, she will go and start chit-chatting with the neighbor. By that time, the induction will go into the off mode. Now, we have come up with these solutions. There are solutions which are available. The vessel needs to be developed in such a way that it bypasses this overheating sensor. And a small vessel needs to be developed where even with 1 teaspoon of oil, you can perform tadka. Both these have been overcome by us more than 10 years back. Just because I am not into domestic market, I am not going into the technology of it. I'm only just trying to emphasize that there has to be a vessel innovation. Then there are the myths, which I declared even during my Delhi meet, that these myths needs to be removed. Flat bottom vessel every time is not required. Round bottom vessels will work. Most of the people feel like this. I have an induction, but I don't have a vessel, so I should not work. 80% of the vessels in the house will work even if they are round bottom, even if they are not flat. What they need to do, just hold it in the hand. If they find logically that this is a light vessel, it will work. If it is heavy, it will have more nickel content, so it may not work or it may create less heat. One of the two, right? So vessel is also not an issue. You don't have to buy. I am always advising those people, just buy induction, use your vessels in the house, and just go for new vessels after 1 month or 1.5 months or 2 months if you want, because the difference between the heating efficiency of induction and gas is almost 50%. Induction is 50% faster than gas. Giving you an example, one cup of tea on induction will take 1 minute, and on gas it will take never less than 2 minutes 30 seconds. So I am also trying to advise the government, don't go for 2 kilowatt, go for a combo of 1 plus 1 kilowatt, so that two things can be cooked at a time. Don't reduce the speed, because reduction of speed is required in the hotels, in the QSRs, when they want to immediately cook and serve. In the house, if we can make them cook in the same time, it is more than sufficient, right? So I think I should stop here, because these are the basic things, and Mr. Sinha can, or anybody who would like to ask me questions can ask me at the end of the entire event. Yeah, Mr. Sinha, over to you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Desai Saab. That was really very, very, informative and as well as inquisitive also, because that has raised several questions in my mind, which you have said that in the last I can ask you. So thank you for that opportunity also.
Please.
And
Please.
any other person who will be interested can always post it or ask during the question answer session.
Yeah.
Then we are moving to Mr. Parmar, Mr. Yash Parmar. Again, another established name in the field of electric cooking, the founder of Ofla, an achiever. We all know about him. And very recently, I had spoken to him for quite some time about the electric pressure cooker and other things which are made there. So we would like to again be benefited by his experience and learning about the subject of induction cooking stoves for the Indian kitchen. So, Mr. Parmar, welcome to you, and please come on the screen.
Yeah, hi. I'm there already.
Okay, good. Welcome.
So, hello everyone. My name is Yash, and I'm the founder of Ofla. And we have introduced, I'm into electric cooking since 2018, to be specific. And everyone knows that we have recently won the Global Leap Award also, which was been organized by UKAID and MECS. So in that we have won under under the category of Best Energy Performance Cooker. So if I tell in the terms of INR, okay, I'll speak in the terms of INR today. So in this, if I tell you, if you make anything, I'll just give you example. If you make rice, for example, so in our cooker, in 10 minutes the rice is made, and in 10 minutes, if I tell you, in our cooker consumption for 1 hour it is just 0.4 unit. not even a half of unit. Okay. So the rice, if you are making in 10 minutes, one bowl, in one 6 liter bowl, at least 7 to 8 people can eat at a time. Okay. So just imagine the economy of scale in that now. So for example, if you're making that rice 6 times in 1 hour, so in 0.4 unit. So for 1 hour of usage, even if I take 10 rupees as a unit, it will be only 4.5 rupees or something. Just imagine the economy of. So this is what I mean. Right now we are more working to do it more energy efficient. So right now, I mean, we are aiming to get it to 0.2 or 0.3 unit it should take. So that is where right now we are working, and we are taking it to the other level now. So if I tell you about the Indian market, right now people are, I mean, nicely accepting this product. It was too new when I started. That time no one was there. People didn't know what it is. People, when they see, they're just like, okay, this is a rice cooker, we have it. But we have to change that concept, that it's not just a rice cooker. You can make each and everything in it except roti or chapati. So if you take this cooker, with this you'll only need the tawa or induction just for the roti or chapati. So in this right now, I mean, right now we have this, but we'll be mostly introducing something in this that you can make roti or chapati also in this. So it will take some time. We are into the development phase of that. So even if we do that, that will be a great combo. Like if you see that in one cooker, you can do everything. So there is no induction required. There is no gas required. There is nothing required. And as India is a surplus nation, in energy surplus nation, so I think, I mean, right now, I mean, Vimal sir and Mr. Nick, they are helping us very greatly for this, and they're taking us to international markets now. To they're helping us to tie up with the different people who want it. So right now, we are the first company in India who are making this in India. So no one is else making it in India. Everyone is just importing from China and selling. Plus, we are an ISO plus BI certified company. The government has given us the certification for the quality also. So quality, what we are using is totally different from China. And our quality is actually, you can say, unmatched, because our quality is actually a rough and tough quality. Like in Indian market, how people use it, it is just, I mean, a rough and tough product type. So right now, I mean, we are selling it everywhere in India. It's pan India right now. And we are going to increase the capacities also in this. So right now we have 5 and 6 liter. We'll be taking the range from 2 liter to 12 liter very soon. So it will be a complete range of product. So yeah, this is what, I mean, now Vimal sir, you can.
Oh, thank you very much, Yash, for giving
Thank
us
you.
update on the electric pressure cooker, which you are the only manufacturer in India, and you are further innovating it for use as a multi-purpose cooking equipment. That's really a good news. And beside that, you also spoke about the consumption of electricity, and you are working to further reduce it, as you said, working to bring it to zero point 0.4 unit or something like that. Perhaps if we have some kind of these information on a sheet of paper on your experiment done on the consumption, that would be very useful for the promotion of, in general, the electric cooking and the your pressure cooker, which is a good innovation in our opinion. Anyway, we will talk about it later. Right now,
Yeah.
thank you
So
very much, and we
right now we already have that certification given by the globally powered. So when we enrolled for that, that time only we have got that certification and lab tests also, that our consumption is 0.4 unit. I mean, we have that everything.
right,
So further now we'll be seeing to it.
right. So that's very good news, as I said, and that will be a helpful tool in the promotion of the electric cooking in India and making it more suitable for the Indian kitchen, which is as per the agenda program. Mr. Girija Shankar was supposed to speak as one of the speaker. I'm not sure whether he has able to join because he was occupied in some meeting in his office. So since he has not joined, so we have some extra time for, if he comes, we will take his views if within that time. But till that time, I think we can take the questions from the audience or from the panelists to each other, wherever it comes from. And we can respond to those questions in between. Any hands raised? Who is looking after? Arushi? Or
Can we ask the delegates to either raise the hand or the lot of chats I can see, so we can actually read the
Yeah,
questions in the
so I
sequence.
can read the questions, and if they're to specific person or any of the panelists who are able to answer can answer. So I'm reading the question one by one. Okay, so the question from Raghavendra is, what is the market size of commercial induction appliances in India? Anilji,
Okay.
if you are able
Yeah.
to answer it.
Commercial induction in India is increasing at a very, very fast pace. I will tell you how. There are community cooking in the commercial sector where hotels, restaurants, corporate canteens, airports, there are even instances of old age homes where I was there only 2 days back in a remote village near Bombay, who wants to switch over from gas to induction. Now, this was not the time when we started commercial inductions about 10 years back. But of late, since last 3 years, it has increased a lot. And just for your information, we are not available anywhere on the website. We don't advertise, but every second or third day, we are getting an inquiry pan India through the reference. Now, what is one hotel going to need? One hotel or one canteen is going to need everything. Minimum 2 to 3 big cooktops, one roti tawa or dosa tawa, one puffer. So your one call is going to give you minimum 15 to 20 lakhs rupees worth of business. If you can do work for at least 50 per year, I think your job is done. Yeah, go ahead. Any other question?
Mr. Desai, I was reading somewhere about the size of the induction cooking market, I mean appliances market, and it was mentioned that it is forecasted to more than double to $2.7 billion by 2027. I don't know whether it is correct or not. I just wanted your views on that.
Yeah, I cannot say about the world, but I can say about India.
Yeah, this is India only.
This is Indian.
Yeah.
See, it is like this. Okay, that is also a very good question you have asked. See, when I started, I was the only person. People used to call me mad. Yaar, ye kya kar raha hai? What is he doing? Today, there are more than 20 manufacturers and more than 20 importers. So you have 40 now. And I am always telling you that is also going to be insufficient because the market demand is going. You see, it's like this, that every hotelier's requirement is specific. If you design the product, because you will have to design the product depending upon the size of the kitchen, you cannot make and sell. You will have to sell first, then make, depending upon the size available. I will give you another example. I was there in Bangalore 3 days back, and their gas burner range, which is 4 zone, he wants an oven below, we searched in the market whether anybody has done or not, because I did it for Navy long back, 4 years back. I didn't have the feedback. So I went on the web and find out from Google that yes, it is available across the world. If it is available across the world, I can also do it. So I went to Ahar in Delhi, found out that yes, what are the designs requirements of oven combined together. Now the third and the last issue was that his gas range is 3 feet by 3 feet. And we have to make sure that our inductions are also made in 3 feet by 3 feet only. That is also feasible. So the challenge is replacing the gas to induction again in the same size. Market is going to grow. So new projects, yes, there the kitchen consultants will come into the picture. So I would request Mr. Vimal to have one separate program for kitchen consultants across the country, which we can educate them, because today I am working with at least about 16 to 20 of the kitchen consultants across the country. Maybe some of them may be there on this webinar today who had told me that they will join, and they will agree that yes, the knowledge is not sufficient enough to make sure that a kitchen can be planned. It will take time. But yes, the growth is tremendous. That much I can say. Whoever has asked this question, he can immediately start jumping into commercial induction market. No problem.
Right. Shall we go to the next, Arushi?
Yes, sure. So this question is for Mr. Yash. That UFLA EPC is coming with an IoT device sensor. So Yash, if you are able to like express your comments on this particular question or query.
Okay, so right now, we are doing a trials for pay as you go, because this is mostly we got a review from South African market that we are interested in this model. So right now we are doing it with some manufacturing in Pune. So they have this model already. So we are testing it with our cooker and we are getting to it. So further for this, after, if it goes well, everything on this pay you go. So in this, we can even apply for the cargo financing. So because we will be collecting all the data from that. So pay you go is a system in which you can monitor all the data, what all person has cooked, how he has cooked and everything, how much energy has been consumed or saved. Plus, if you have taken, if you'll have to do a recharge, how we use our phones. Well, it's a prepaid cooker, you can say. You'll have to do a recharge and then your cooker will start. So this is what right now we are doing it. It's in the trial phase. So very soon it will be done now. So this is what IoT we are getting into.
Okay, so another question is on the same regard, that how it is efficient, like how EPC is efficient in comparison to the normal induction and a pan on top. This has been asked by Sandy.
Yeah, so that is what I was putting in the chat also, that if you see our cooker, we have been, I'll tell you my personal experience in this. I've stayed back in China for a month or two, and I've made this cooker there according to the Indian food options. So I've done this research in 2017-18. So 2 years I have done this research, and then we have got into it. So as people say, why not? Why everyone has stopped using micro ovens? Because it emits some harmful radiations. Okay. So our cooker doesn't do that. Why? Because we are on induction heating. We are doing this on induction heating. So there is no harm in it. Plus now people don't know that. People, when I tell people that they are like, you are doing on a marketing purpose. But no, see, what technically, if I tell you, the food which you're eating in normal pressure cooker right now, when you wait for that whistles, that let one whistle go, two whistle go, in that all your nutrients are getting lost. So whatever you're consuming for your body is not nutrient. The nutrients are not there. The many nutrients are lost in that. So we have developed this. How it works, I'll tell you. So first, when you put any food or anything, it senses in that. After that, it has a sensor and everything. The timer will start and everything. After that, when it's on a preheating stage, when the energy is consumed, then it cuts off the electricity. So your food is made in the steam inside. There is no interference of electricity. There is nothing is there. I mean, only the steam which is developed inside, in that your food is made. So just imagine how healthy it is.
Okay, thank you. So can we move to the next question, which is that how we can get a carbon finance implementation of projects? How much carbon credit one induction stove can generate in an year?
So the
I think only the expert will be able to give the
yeah,
answer.
exactly.
Any expert are there in this topic because this is the one of the very interesting topics. So we all like
Yes.
to hear. If you are expert and if you have idea about this, please raise your hand and we will allow you to speak.
I have some limited information to share about carbon credits on this front. The number of carbon credits that you can get from just shifting to electric cooking depends on your baseline. So, if your baseline cooking is more carbon intensive, and then if you're shifting to a cleaner fuel, you get carbon credits. For example, if you're using coal-based electricity for your home, and then you're moving to solar electricity, you get carbon credits because you're moving to a cleaner source. Okay, that is the basic understanding when you get carbon. Just by shifting from LPG to coal will not give you carbon credits because LPG is less carbon intensive than coal. So if your electricity is coming from uh, uh, more less carbon intensive fuel earlier and you're moving to a more carbon intensive fuel, that you are not eligible for carbon credits technically. Second, from an efficiency perspective, you can look at it that if any device which you're using earlier has an efficiency of, let's say, 60%, and you're moving to an efficient device which gives you 80% of efficiency, then that can get you carbon credits. Now, there is no comparison available for the efficiency of LPG based cook stove and induction based cook stove or electric based cook stove devices yet, because that comparison will be a little twisted in that way, like what you're cooking, for how long you're cooking, and all of those things will be involved in that. So technically, it is very difficult to give you one formula to say that, okay, if you're moving to electric cooking, it will give you for a year of cooking, it might give you, say, 100 credits or 200 credits. So that is something really difficult. And that's the reason why EESL is coming up with an electric cooking scheme with solar involved into it, because just cooking on electricity using coal fired electricity is not going to attract any carbon credits.
Got that. Thank you, Vishaka. Sorry, Mr. And yeah, any hand raised?
I just wanted to, yes, there is one hand raised, Professor Matthew Leach.
Hi, I can make a few comments. I mean, I hesitate to give specific numbers because, as you've just heard, it depends so much on the details of a particular project. But from calculations that we've been involved in with other project developers, if you were looking at a project to shift towards induction cooking for perhaps 50 or even 100% of the household cooking for the day, and you were using fully clean electricity, so solar or some other renewable source, you might potentially be looking at somewhere between maybe 2 to 4, maybe even a little bit more than that, tons of CO2 equivalent avoided per year. So that's sort of 2 to 4 credits, for the household for the year. And then you have to multiply that by the kind of market rate that you could potentially sell those credits for, which might be somewhere between $8, maybe even up to $20. It's very variable and changing quite quickly. And that kind of level gives one a pretty big contribution to the costs of the kind of electric cooking appliances. It doesn't make a very big contribution maybe to a full solar electric cooking system, but in terms of contributions to an electric pressure cooker or air fryer and so on, that's a pretty big cost contribution. So I would suggest those are the sorts of numbers. And Simon Batchelor has posted a link in the chat to the methodology for electric cooking devices from the gold standard for looking at metered and measured cooking devices and the carbon credits that can be saved from those. And if you go to that link, you will find that there is a simple spreadsheet calculator that you can use to try out your own assumptions and come up with some estimates of what you might be able to gain.
Any more hands there?
Samta, if you want to ask some question. Am I audible, Samta? She was earlier raising her hand, but now I guess she is not available.
Okay. Any other question we have?
I think Samta had trouble unmuting earlier, so I don't know whether you can.
I changed her setting. I changed her setting right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Till that time, Samta is not there. Can we read the next question, Ne?
So this question is from Sanket that do we have any articles which explain about the nutritional value when the food is cooked using an EPC? If anyone of the present panelists have any idea regarding that.
Not any
Since
specific.
It is,
no.
Yeah. Please go ahead, Mr. Desai.
Yeah, not any specific figures are available. The only thing which I can tell you of my experience of selling either domestic or commercial inductions is the foods, especially green vegetables, when you cook on induction, remains green even after cooking, which is not so when you cook on gas. They turn into yellowish green or brownish green, which means that the minerals are destroyed. Now, I am just citing a small example of cooking palak paneer by 24 chefs about 10 years back in Lavasa, one of the hill stations where I had gone, along with a short Saran representative, the glass manufacturer. So we gave them an induction 3.5 kilowatt and told them to cook palak along with paneer. All of them came and they said if we would not have cooked it, we would have said colors were added in this. It is so green. My wife, who is cooking on induction for almost 12 years, still brings the green vegetables in front of me saying how much green this is. So this has been heard from those who have bought inductions, and then they will make a comment that one thing which we have seen is that green vegetables remain green even after cooking. So that much I can know, that green remains green. That is one. The second important observation, since it is related to cooking, it is related to frying. All deep fried products on induction are uniform in color. Why? because we are cooking on errant temperatures right now. When the gas fumes come, flame comes, it is orange, red, and yellow color, blue color. Now we can't control it. So we have never noticed. But if you fry on induction, there is uniform increase and uniform decrease because the vessel is the generator of heat. So all the deep fried products will always have the same color. The second thing which has already been noticed and measured is by Indian Railways about more than 10-12 years back, that the oil deposits are reduced by 20% when you fry on induction, which is a very, very important hygienic and healthy point of frying, that you have 20% less oil. Because those farsan makers in commercial market, they will have a benefit that their oil requirements will be reduced, and you can, because we put sensor at desired temperature, the induction stops. 90% of our food deep fried is below smoke point of good oil. So if the oils will not turn black, you will be able to do more number of fries. I will not go into much details. Please go ahead.
Thank you, sir. So we can take the last query from Samta. Samta, please. I've changed the setting. Please see if you are able to unmute yourself.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Samta from Real Flame. And this was regarding the IoT device. Since we were working with Yash on it, I would just throw a little light on the same. I would like to just tell you all a little more on it. As to this device is mainly created for, so what we are working on currently is for the African market, because which can be adapted in the Indian markets too. Where they do not have adequate funds, they do not have enough money to buy a EPC or a induction. So what we do is this pay-as-you-go device, the government gives them and says, okay, you can take the pay-as-you-go device. Today you have 100 rupees, you refill 100 rupees into that. And once you're done with that 100, you can again refill it. So using this technology, even a normal person who probably cannot afford an EPC can have an EPC without paying much for it. And also, having said that, this also helps the government to track as to what is that person using. How is, as in, so it can determine the time that the cooking has taken, that particular thing has taken to cook. So we can determine that the usage time, plus it can, because of the usage time that we can track, we know the amount of emission that has happened through it. So we can, with that, we can calculate the carbon credits. It makes it easier. So that's the whole working of the IoT device when it comes to an EPC or an induction. So because we are working very closely on it, so I just wanted to throw some light on it as to how the device
works. Before we end, Vimal, can I have 2 more minutes?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was just one important fact, that in Indian households, in every house, the lady in the morning, if she gets 20 to 25 minutes of freedom from the kitchen, will be much more appreciable, because the habit is in India, the husband depends on the wife, the children also depend on the mother, and the in-laws also depend on the lady. So she is the center, and that is the reason why in our house we have a vertical cooking system. Means on one zone there are 3 vessels, one on top of the other. This used to be done 50 years back by our grandmothers. You have a base vessel, with water inside. So my wife would drop a couple of potatoes inside. Then there will be one more vessel on top where the steam of the water from the bottom will penetrate and start cooking the vegetables which are kept there for boiling. And then it will again rise into the top floor where you may have put rice in any bowl with water. So the water will evaporate, rice will be cooked, and what she does is she puts a 20-minute timer. So she is free. After 20 minutes she comes, removes the rice, the vegetables are already boiled. So what she wants to do is just perform tadka, again put a timer and go away. So within 7 to 10 minutes, the dal or the vegetables also will be cooked. She is present in the kitchen only while making roti. Otherwise, she will have lot of freedom. So I just forgot this point. I thought I should make this point to the people who are still there. At least 48 is what I can see. It will benefit them. Fine. Thank you, Vimal.
Okay. Thank you, Desai sir, for giving your, insights and also the knowledge which you have gathered over a long period of time working in this field. Thank you once again to all the panelists. But I can see Dr. Simon Batchelor posting some very informative things in the chat box. Would like to invite him if he is willing to share his thought in voice mode as well. Dr. Simon Batchelor, are you coming?
I guess he's not there right now in the meeting.
Okay. In that case,
So
anyway,
just a small notification that we will be organizing our next talk series on 20th April, and I would like to invite all of the participants, and we will be sending the agenda as well as the link by next week shortly. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Nay, for managing the discussion very well, and thank you all the panelists and participants who were large in number today. That's a very encouraging sign. And I would just like to add a few more sentences here that the acceptance of induction cooking is very much there in terms of it consumes less energy, it takes less time, it is safe, it is easy to clean. It consumes less energy on top of it. But what is there which is preventing is for a wider mass acceptance. That is to be seen, and that was also the objective of the current discussion, to spread this message, because the experts are there who can give their opinion on this, and we have to take it forward in their consultation only. So that, general awareness or just a myth that no, it cannot give the same quality in terms of taste or a nutrition value. So these messages needs to be spread, and by appropriate marketing strategy. That's another job itself. And let us hope that we continue to do our work with the help of the modern energy cooking services and the talk series and other programs which we have been organizing. And we will all work together, and we'll be in consultation with each other, sharing our experiences and knowledge in this field so that we can take it forward. So that's all from my side. Vimal, would you like to say anything before we end the session?
No, just like to thank you. Thank you, panelists. Thank you, Mr. Sinha. It's wonderful discussions and all. And we hope to have another round of discussion. And the carbon is coming in a big way. So in every discussion is coming. So we'll also look into the carbon angle possibly in the next talk series. And we can also plan a workshop around that. Yeah.
True. So
All right.
Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you. See you again on 20th April, maybe earlier also.
Yes.
Thank you.